Hey everybody, welcome back to 2.1. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 variable word problems. So I know when we're doing 3 variable problems, they can kind of seem like a mess. So I'm going to do my best to just explain it in the simplest terms possible. Alright, and I do apologize for my voice. I am battling some laryngitis here. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. An amphitheater charges $75 for each seat in section A, $55 for each seat in section B, and $30 for each lawn seat. There are 3 times as many seats in section B as in section A. The revenue from selling all 23,000 seats is $870,000. How many seats are in each section of the amphitheater? Solve by substitution. We're going to solve all these by substitution, by the way. So I would recommend writing small. But let's start off by defining our variables. The question says how many seats are in each section. So we got 3 sections. You got seats in section A and seats in section B, and then we're gonna have seats in the lawn. Alright, so that's how I would define my variables. Alright, fix my B. Okay, so let's write the equations. You got $75 for each seat in section A, so I'm going to write 75x, 55 for B, so 55y, and then the lawn seat cost you $30, so plus 30z. So these are all dollar amounts, right? So if they're all dollar amounts, what it has to equal is a dollar amount. And so it says all the seats, you raise $870,000. So I'm going to make it equal $870,000. All right. Now, once you use a number, it's not going to get used again, so we're not going to see any of these 4 numbers again in the other 2 equations. The next sentence says there are 3 times as many seats in section B as in section A. So the tempting thing to write down is 3 times section B, so 3y equals A. But there's more seats in section B. So if section B has more, you wouldn't want to multiply it by 3, because then it would be even more. So if section B has more, you're going to write an equation that says section B, or y, equals, and then 3 times that of A. If I multiply 3 times the number of seats in A, I'll equal the number of seats in section B. So it just says y equals 3x. And then the last equation, it's just this. It says if they sell all 23,000 seats, all 23,000 is key. What kind of seats do they have? They have seats in section A, seats in section B, and lawn seats, and they're going to sell 23,000 of those total at this venue. Okay, so now we've got our 3 equations. Now we need to substitute. So this is the most simple equation. I'm going to substitute the y equals 3x in for y right there. All right, so I'll take the 3x and I'll put it right there. So I have x plus 3x plus z equals 23,000. All right, so this just makes 4x, so 4x plus z equals 23,000. All right, at this point, you either got to solve for x or solve for z, right? Well, the y equals 3x, so if I solve for z, that means I'll have to minus the 4x over, and so z will equal something with an x, and so you want to keep it in common like that. If you solved for x, you'd have something with the z, and then when you plug in the y and the z, you'd be confused because you wouldn't be eliminating any letters. So this is what I mean. I'm going to minus 4x over, and then that's going to get me z equals 23,000 minus 4x, And so I have an x in the z term and an x in the y term. And now I'm ready to plug those into this top line equation. So it says 75x, right? We didn't do anything for x. Plus 55y, and so instead of y, I'm going to write 3x. And then it says plus 30z, so z was 23,000 minus 4x. All right, and then that's going to equal that huge number of $870,000. Okay, so at this point, we need to distribute, and look, we have only the letter x, so we'll be able to solve for the letter x, then we'll get on our answer for x and just plug it into the z equation and get the z answer, and plug it into the y equation and get the y answer. All right, so distributing 55 times 3x is 165x. 30 times 23,000 minus 4x. I'm going to need to type that into the calculator. That's going to get me 690,000. Oh, I wrote 69,000. Yeah, it's a large number, 690,000. And 30 times negative 4x would be negative 120x, and then it's going to equal that 870,000. The only thing I need to do is just remember to write down the 75x. We didn't do anything to that. All right, so everything's been distributed. I can combine my like terms. I'm going to combine 75x, 165x, and negative 120x. So let's just work over here now. Adding those three together is going to get me 120x. All right, and because 75 plus 165 is 240, and 240 minus 120 is 120. So I get 120x plus the 690,000 still. We didn't combine that with anything. And then that's just going to equal 870,000. 1, 2, 3. All right, so the next step would be to subtract your 690,000 from both sides. Make that 9 look kind of like a 9. There we go. All right, so 870,000 minus 690,000 is going to equal, excuse me, 180,000. All right, and then we're just going to bring down that 120x. Okay, and then we'll divide both sides by 120. And so we're going to get x equals 180,000. This is a 0, not a 2. It looks almost like one of my 2's. Divided by 120 is 1,500 or 1,500. All right. So x is 1,500. That's seats in A. All right. Plug in 1,500 for x. Okay. So we're going to take that number and we're going to plug it in to this equation. And then we're going to also plug it in into that equation right there. All right. So I get y equals 3x, so 3 times 1,500 equals 4,500. And then that's going to be seats in B. And then we have the z is 23,000 minus 4x. So z equals 23,000 minus 4 times 1,500. All right, you type that into your calculator, you're going to get 17,000. There, I like the pen over the marker. So it equals 17,000. What does that mean? That means seats in the lawn area. Or so how about I just say lawn seats. 17,000 lawn seats. So we got our 3 answers, okay? So it's a bit of a mess, but I hope it had a nice logical flow to it. Let's do example 2 now, okay? A wholesale store advertises that for $20, you can buy 1 pound each of peanuts, cashews, and almonds. Cashews cost as much as peanuts and almonds combined. You purchase 2 pounds of peanuts, 1 pound of cashews, and 3 pounds of almonds for $36. What's the price a pound for each nut? So the first thing we need to do is define our variables. We're looking for the cost here, right, of each type of nut. So I just listed in order that we read it. We read peanuts, cashews, and then almonds. So I'll write price of peanuts, cashews, and then almonds. I mean, it's specifically price per pound, but I think this is good enough to communicate what we're doing. So let's write the first equation. That first sentence, $20, you can buy 1 pound each. That's an equation. So 1 pound, 1x plus 1y plus 1z equals $20. All right. And then you purchase the next sentence. Oh, the next sentence is cashews cost as much as peanuts and almonds combined. So cashews is y. So y, cashews cost, y equals as much as peanuts and almonds combined. So x plus z. And then the third sentence says you purchase 2 pounds of peanuts, 1 pound of cashews, and 3 pounds of almonds for $36. So that's 2x plus 1y and plus 3z equals 36. Sorry about that background noise. All right, we have our 3 equations, and now we need to do some substituting, right? So I can substitute that y equals equation, y equals x plus z, and I can substitute that in for y into either one of your equations. I feel like, excuse me, I feel like it's probably easiest to do it in the top one. So I'm going to write down x plus, and then instead of writing y, I'm writing x plus z, and then bring down the rest, plus z equals 20. So this gives me 2x plus 2z equals 20. So we need to solve one of these variables for x or for z. You know, the y equals has an x and a z in it, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and solve this for x. So I'll minus 2z over, and then I get 2x equals 20 minus 2z, and then I'll divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals 10 minus z. All right, so we have an x equals equation and we have a y equals equation. And so once you have an x equals equation and a y equals equation, or 2 equations that are equal to a letter, plug it into the third equation that you haven't messed with. So the third equation, the 2x plus y plus 3z. So here, I'll just rewrite it here so we don't get too confused. 2x plus 3y, plus y plus 3z equals 36, right? So I have y equal to x plus z, and then I had the x equal to 10 minus z. So this is going to be 2 times 10 minus z plus x plus z plus 3z equals 36. So typically at this point, we have only one variable. And if you notice, we still have that letter x. All right, this letter x right here. So what I'm going to need to do is, we know what x equals. I need to sub that x out. X is equal to 10 minus z. So I'm going to sub out this x. So I'm going to write in place another 10 minus z there. So yeah, this is kind of convoluted. I understand. Let's distribute this too. So we're going to get 20 minus 2z plus 10 minus z.
This 20 looks kind of like a Z, doesn't it? And it's this one right there. And so 20 minus 2Z plus 10, excuse me, I wrote 10Z, 10 minus Z. And then bring down the rest. Plus Z plus 3Z equals 36. So now we have a whole bunch of Z's. All right, so let's combine our like terms. We got negative 2 minus Z, so negative 3Z, plus Z makes negative 2Z, plus 3Z just makes Z. And then we have that 20 plus 10 is 30. So Z plus 30 equals 36. If I just minus 30, I know the answer is 6. So if Z equals 6, well then the other answers should kind of quickly fall into place here. Z equals 6, so X equals 10 minus Z. X equals 10 minus 6, so X equals 4. And then Y equals X plus Z, so Y equals X plus Z, and we know that X was 4 and Z was 6, so Y equals 10. So we got our 4 answers, or sorry, 4 answers, 3 answers. So yeah, that'll draw the notes to a close. You could write a sentence that peanuts were $4 a pound, cashews were $6 a pound, no, $10 a pound, and then almonds were $6 a pound. So there, I wrote it. I kind of messed up while I was saying it, but I wrote it down. Peanuts $4, cashews $10, almonds $6 a pound. All right, and that's it for the notes. I really hope this helped, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.